Hey everybody, Sean Harrington here. Okay, next step in our Aquarius MX build is to actually put it inside the case. I've got the components here. I have the case screws that are spec'd out on the bill of materials. I've got the rubber feet. I've got the label. I've got the thumb drive. I even have a template that I can use to place the label and the feet on the bottom. So it's pretty simple. Depending on where you get your case printed, I printed them myself, there will more than likely be support material on this part because they should print like this. That's why this surface looks so nice. You notice that this isn't quite as smooth, and that's because there's some support material there. There will be support material pieces inside these holes here that you may need to pop out. That's pretty easy, you just pop them out. And then on this piece there will be support material here. You print it with this face down so it prints up like this. There will be support material here around these corners. These little screw holes will have posts in it that you'll have to pop out. You can generally pop them out from that way. And then on the side here where the cartridge connector is, right here and right here, you'll normally need, I use either a screwdriver or one of these chip poppers, and it'll just pop those components out of there. Anyway, this one's already been cleaned up. If you're ordering it from a commercial 3D printing place, they will probably have already taken the supports off for you. So here's what we do. We take the completed circuit board, we set it in just like that, just sits right in place. And then we take the top piece and we're going to feed the edge connector, this piece of the PCB, through this hole. This holds it in place. And then these two tabs right here are going to fit into these slots over here. Let's see, it is the back slots that they are going to fit into. So we feed it in like that, and we tilt it a little forward. We line up these tabs on the bottom, kind of slide it into place, and just be a little careful the first time through. And then what I do is I push this direction right here, push back so those two tabs pop into place. They'll kind of crack a little. There we go, pop one, pop two. And everything else should line up. Notice that now the USB port is at exactly the right height for because we put those posts in place. So now we're going to use our self-tapping case screws. And of course, I didn't bring a screwdriver in here, so I'm just going to run over to the thing really quickly. Let you take a look at those while I run over. I'll be right back. So these are special types of screws that actually have 3 lobes on the sides, and what those lobes is, as they go through the plastic channel, they kind of carve out the slots these are going to go into. These are ones that are used on Happy Meal toys and a lot of other things as well too. So we're going to put one in this back corner. That's the anchor point. Make sure that your screwdriver has a nice solid connection into it, and you're going to push firmly down into the case as you tighten it. And when it bottoms out, it should be fine. Now we're going to test to make sure that we got a good seal. It looks really nice there. I'm going to do the one that's opposite from that corner on this side. Just feed it into the hole there. And again, we're going to push it down as we insert it. And that will allow these plastic threads to be cut. And this corner here, pushing down. Don't want to strip them out, so as soon as they clear and as soon as they bottom out, I stop turning because I don't want to strip them. You can see it looks really nice. The beauty lines on the plastic here, this screw should tighten that up. And the whole reason that beauty lines on plastic computer cases were created was just for this reason, because sometimes when you're manufacturing plastic, you get a little bit of warping, and these beauty lines were designed to hide that. You're looking more at the style of it than at the hole. So we've got nice, good fitting here. So that's it. That's the Aquarius MX case. It's now combined. Now, this port is upside down, and I know it kind of sucks, but because of the way we mounted it, to make it as easy as possible for everybody to do, you do need to take your thumb drives, and you can generally tell the bottom of the thumb drive because it has like a little seam there that joins those two. You'll also notice that the plastic is on the top. You're going to fit that into the port, and that should fit pretty much any USB drive. Okay, so that is that part of it. So here is where this template comes in play. So we put this in place here. I'm going to first put the label in here. It's going to go in there just like that. And again, you don't have to have a label. I do it because I like the way it looks. I'm going to lay this in place so that it's centered within this space. And my 3D print is a little bigger than the label itself, but notice how that lines it up really nicely. And these four dots is where the feet go. So we're going to put that back down here. This little tab goes in the corner, and I'm going to pull up 4 of these feet. And what the feet do is the feet match the height of the stock Aquarius. The stock Aquarius has feet on it. The mini expander actually had these built into plastic, but I wanted to make it a little bit easier to print, so that's why I keep this bottom nice and flush. So what you do is we take these and we center them in these holes. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3, and there's 4. And this little template, you know, takes you maybe an hour at the most to print. And then after we're done, I just press them down. So it's got a really nice even look on the bottom. This is serial number 2. I'll be putting this for sale on eBay. And in the next part of the video, here's the MX completed. In the last part of the video, I'm going to actually plug this in and show you how we're going to use it. Hey everybody. Okay, so here we are going to test the unit. Here is my Franken Aquarius, and this has an HDMI mod on it that gives me a much cleaner output image. I do have a composite unit right here that I've built, but I'm going to test this on the HDMI mod so it looks cleaner on the screen. As you'd expect, we plug it in to the stock Aquarius, and it slides in place. And I apologize that I don't have the original top keyboard on there, but I do a lot of testing on this, so it's best that I don't. And then in back, we are going to plug in the 2 joysticks here. So here's, the joysticks, control pads is what we call them. You can see we still have the thumb drive here. And here we go. So those are all plugged in. Set them here because we're going to do a mini expander test, which this will pass. We're going to do a power on. And the first thing we're going to do, and this shows that it is Aquarius basic version 1.1. Obviously there will be future versions, but this is the most recent one. I won't go into the USB basic commands right now. We're just going to be on the test screen. So we're going to do 1 for load ROM, and we're going to go into the ROMs directory, which is 3. And in here I'm going to use the mini diag tester, which is the same thing that you can use to test the mini expander, but we're going to use it to test the MX. So we go here, we're going to return, See that now the test is only written for 16K. For some reason, they never wrote it for 32, but we pass. Go to next. Doing the sound check. Let's wait for that to finish. Good. Let's see, we're going to stop that one. We accept the results. Now we're going to test the control pads. Kind of do this in spots here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we test the disc to make sure that it can get all of the locations. So that disc is good. We're going to say yes. We're going to do the second controller, the one's plugged in the other side. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we will test the disc controller, and it works as well too. So that's a pass. Let's do a system reset. And again, if you want to, you can hit return to go into USB Basic. There's a PT3 player. We've got lots of songs in here. My usual test is Benny Hill. And I apologize for the background noise. I'm actually doing a 3D print here of the micro expander for some of the extra ones. Let's back out here. That is the test and the fitting of the Aquarius MX. We put it together, we put our stickers on the back, we tested it in an actual Aquarius, and we're good to go. Hope this was helpful to you. From this, we will move on to probably how to use the USB Basic commands in the next video. So I hope you enjoyed it.